Lately, everyone's been talking about Red Deer, its affordability, the endless trails, the summer out at Sylvan Lake. It almost sounds like a Central Alberta fairy tale. But here's what you really want to know. Is the hype actually real, or are we just getting played by drone shots over Bower Ponds or Instagram edits from Discovery Canyon? I'm in these neighborhoods every single day. I used to be a fireman in the city. I've seen the good, the bad, I've seen the weird stuff too. And I've seen people move here thinking that this is the perfect mid-sized city, only to find out that they can't handle a minus 30 cold snap in February, or they realize that the nightlife here is pretty much non-existent and everything shuts down at 10 p.m. But I've also seen families settle into their forever homes and really fall in love with this city in ways that they didn't expect. So if you're wondering if Red Deer is really worth the hype,
saddle up, partner.
Because today I'm pulling back the curtain and I'm going to give you the no fluff, no filter version of what it's actually like to live here. All right, here's the thing about Red Deer. If you're even a little bit outdoorsy, this city spoils you. We're talking over 100 kilometers of trails that wind through the river valley. They connect parks and playgrounds as well as neighborhoods. This really is Red Deer's superpower. It is such a green city with so much nature. Now, Red Deer has been named the most active city in Alberta 4 years in a row, which in my opinion is a pretty crazy stat. And during that 4-year run, there's been 1 or 2 times where Red Deer has been named the most active city in the whole country. So whether you're hitting up the Collicutt Center, which is an OG rec center here in Red Deer, the Dawes Center, the Service Arena, the GW Smith Canada Game Center, this city is loaded with rec facilities. And add in Canyon Ski Hill in the wintertime, the Riverbend Recreation Area for golf and cross-country skiing, and a huge network of dog parks, it's easy to see why people keep moving here year-round. But lifestyle here isn't just about staying active. It's about how each area feels. And here's where a lot of people trip up. They don't do enough research before they buy. You know, if you're big on nature and trails, Westlake gives you Heritage Ranch right in your backyard, which is one of the best parks in the city. You have Sunnybrook, which plugs right into the Waskesiu trail system. Then you have neighborhoods like Woodley and Waskesiu, which are downtown, but they're making a comeback. They're close to the river, they're full of character, and great if you want to be close to the trail system. Now, on the northeast edge of the south side, you've got neighborhoods like Evergreen, Timberstone, Clearview Ridge. These are all super walkable neighborhoods with loads of amenities, plus quick access to some places like the Gates Lake Bird Sanctuary. So it's still kind of close to the river and close to some really great nature. Now, if you head to the southeast corner, it doesn't have the same kind of natural features of all the neighborhoods that we just talked about, but it makes up for it with man-made lakes, paved paths connecting the neighborhoods, and a pile of schools in this area. So it's one of the most popular areas in the city. So here's the bottom line. Every pocket of Red Deer has its own vibe. So what feels perfect for one family could feel totally wrong for another. That's why you really have to do your homework, walk the trails, walk the neighborhoods, and really picture your day-to-day before you come in. And if you're wondering how you'd even figure that out, my name is Kyle. I'm a realtor in the area. We'd love the opportunity to earn your business. Use this info popping up below. Get a hold of me any way you like. All right, let's talk money. This is what everybody wants to know about. This is one of the big reasons why Central Alberta and Red Deer are really starting to take off. Can you actually afford to live here? And what does the market in Red Deer really look like right now? The truth is, even though, in my opinion, I feel like Canada is in a bit of a sad state, our housing market and our rental market, they're getting so expensive. It's getting hard for people to live. Red Deer is still really, really affordable. It is one of the most affordable markets in the country. Now, I know people are going to blow me up in the comments and they're going to say, my rent just got raised. This place isn't affordable. $450,000 for a detached home. That's insane.
My landlord just raised my rent.
We moved here. We can't afford it.
My response to you is that if you do want to live in a city or a city that is similar in size to Red Deer, you're not going to find much better prices than Red Deer when it comes to rent or the ability to purchase a home. So let's talk about the rental market. Right now, a 1-bedroom apartment in Red Deer will run you about, on average, $1,308 per month, and a 2-bedroom will run you around $1,531 per month. You'll be lucky to even find a parking spot for that price in Toronto. Red Deer, in a recent study or survey, I don't know what you want to call it, news article, ranked 55th out of 60 cities across the entire country. So we are in the top 5 for most affordable rental markets. Now, for buyers and those looking to purchase a home, or those looking to set themselves up for retirement, or maybe for their children to be able to purchase a home, which is a lot of reason why people are starting to move here, the median price for a detached home in Red Deer is sitting at $450,000. So that is really, really affordable, but it is a competitive market. Red Deer only has about 1.9 months of inventory, and that puts puts us firmly in a seller's market. Now, the hottest price ranges in Red Deer this year in 2025 so far are from $300,000 to $400,000, and then after that, we move into the $400,000 to $500,000 price range. So if you are shopping in these price ranges, competing offers are pretty common, so just be prepared for that. Now, if we just do a little bit of a comparison, and it's not really apples to apples, it is with Lethbridge, but not with Edmonton and Calgary, but Calgary's median detached price right now is sitting around $715,000, which who doggy, that's getting expensive. Edmonton is right around $580,000, and even Lethbridge is sitting at about $440,000, so slightly cheaper than Red Deer at this point. So we stack all those numbers up against Red Deer's $450,000 price tag. It's clear that Red Deer is sitting in a great spot when it comes to affordability. Now, in Red Deer, we haven't seen insane price jumps, for example, like Calgary had, but price jumps in Red Deer, they creep up every year. It's more of a steady eddy. So there was lots of times back when Calgary was really taking off where you'd see double-digit price increases from month to month. Again, Red Deer's a little bit more steady pace. So in 2024, you saw 11.8% appreciation in your detached home. And so far in 2025, we're sitting at 6.7%. And for a lot of people, that's better. You're not riding this roller coaster. You're just on a slow, steady climb. And I think you're going to start to see that climb a little bit faster over the next few years. Okay, so we've talked about the lifestyle. We've talked about the affordability, but here's the real story. Red Deer didn't just stumble into this moment where we're poised for all of this growth. Its location between Calgary and Edmonton, the lower cost of living, and that active outdoorsy lifestyle that a lot of people are looking for, it laid the foundation. And now with all of these major projects already underway and more about to get started, these projects are really going to shape Red Deer's growth for many decades to come. Now, I did just make a video about these projects last week, so I'm not going to go into depth too much on them. You can watch that video here or here, wherever it gets linked. Since I made that approval though, Town Council has approved the go-ahead for a new neighborhood called Bower Woods. Now, if we look on a map, you can see kind of in the central portion of the south end of Red Deer, there's a big space of farmland. It was owned by the Bower family for many years. Melcor Developments has purchased this land and they're going to put a neighborhood in there. It is right south of the neighborhood of Sunnybrook. But again, it's called Bower Woods, and this was just approved by council. It's planned for about 1,800 residents with a mix of single family homes, row townhouses, and even some apartment buildings. Plus, there's going to be a 10-acre commercial hub right inside the neighborhood. So you're going to have amenities right there. And the cool thing about this is that nearly 40% of the land is staying green with trails and parks and a big environmental reserve. In my opinion, when you look at the location, it backs onto the Waskesiu Trail system. You're in walking distance to Bower Mall. You're really close to basically everything. South Point Common, Gates Avenue. This is going to be one of the most in-demand communities once it's built out. And to touch briefly on some of the stuff we talked about in the last video, again, go watch that video. We have Evergreen and Timberlands North on the east side are really starting to fill out fast. Evergreen is set to add another 200 homes to the neighborhood, while Timberlands is kind of one of those neighborhoods that every time you drive through it, it seems to have changed, and there's tons of new construction going on there. Now, with parks and trails and lots of walkable amenities already in place in these neighborhoods, both of these areas have become great picks for families that want newer homes, but come with that convenience close at hand. Now, we've talked about this one a little bit, but the Haslett Lake development up on the north end has its approvals in place. Now, it was supposed to break ground in the summer this year of 2025. I'm not sure if that has happened yet. I'm going to have to drive by and see what's going on there. I couldn't get a hold of anybody. But once this development begins, it's really going to start to balance the growth between the north end and the south end. Again, the city's been growing south for so many decades, and this will be the first residential development on the north end in well over a decade. And downtown, of course, we have the Capstone development, which is kind of reshaping the riverfront and breathing some new life into the downtown area. This is going to be a really cool master plan community with modern condos and townhouses right up along the river, and are going to offer a unique experience right here in Red Deer. Now, these are the smaller residential projects. Now, of course, everyone probably knows about the major projects taking place. So again, we're going to touch on them briefly. These massive projects are going to fuel the growth of this city for decades to come. So we have the Red Deer Regional Hospital expansion. This is the largest expansion in Alberta Health Services history. It's $1.8 billion. This is going to bring thousands of jobs and better healthcare access. Then we have the regional airport, which is in phase 3 right now, which is the final phase of its expansion. expansion. And this is set to be complete by spring of 2026. And this is going to open the door for more travel and more businesses. And then in the industrial and ag sector, we have the P&H flour mill going up by Springbrook and the Dairy Innovation West milk concentration plant going up by Blackfalds. So these are economic anchors in the agricultural industry. Now I bring these up again because all of this means one thing. Red Deer is building massive momentum. I know Daniel Smith has challenged Red Deer to become the next million-person city within the province because of our location and because of all the projects that we have taking place right now. So if you are looking to make the move here, it's worth asking yourself how these projects might shape the lifestyle and the opportunities that are waiting here. All right, you've seen the lifestyle, you've seen the affordability, and you've seen where Red Deer is headed with all of these big projects. But let's be real, no city is perfect. So before you pack that moving truck, let's hit pause and talk about a few of the trade-offs that you should expect if you're moving here. Now, I don't want to make this a pros and cons video, but we're going to touch on some of these trade-offs. So first off, it's no secret the winter's here. Now, you've probably heard that dry cold is easier to handle than humid cold. And sure, there is some truth to that, but when it drops to minus 30 or minus 40, or I've seen temperatures as low as minus 58 with the wind chill, there is nothing that prepares you for that. I've lived in Alberta my whole life, and every time it drops below minus 30, it's like a punch in the teeth. I remember I had some clients that moved here a couple of years ago. They came from Chilliwack, BC. And when it get cold, I would message them, ask them how they were enjoying the winters. And they're like, oh, this is nothing. This is nothing compared to BC. It's so humid over there. It chills you to the bone.
We're there. Got a little dippy going through the fast that air.
But then we had our cold snaps, and I didn't have to text him. He texted me. Shout out to Peter. He's like, I get it now. This is terrible. Now, we do get a ton of sun here. We're averaging around like 323 days a year, which helps. But if you hate winter, you'll feel it here. Now, secondly, Red Deer really does have more of a big town vibe to it than a big city vibe. I know it's only considered a mid-sized city here in Alberta, but it really feels like a big town to me. So if you're looking for like a bustling nightlife or trendy districts and a busy downtown, you're probably going to be disappointed here. Now, the restaurant scene, it's improving. We have a lot of franchised restaurants, which, you know, I enjoy eating at. I'm not too much of a food snob. It's not, however, super diverse, but there are some really great local spots if you know where to look. And third, if you are coming from a major metro and you're picturing yourself, you know, in a slick glass high-rise condo with skyline views, maybe some valet parking and a rooftop patio, that's really not going to happen in Red Deer. In my opinion, the high-end luxury condo market here in Red Deer really sucks. I mean, there are a couple penthouses right along the river that are, you know, around that couple $1 million price range. However, because of their location, they're having a hard time selling them. Beyond that, a $400,000 to $500,000 condo is probably the most expensive condos that we have here. If I were to give advice, I would say that most people are better suited to look at detached homes or duplexes if they want some more space. Now, there's more options for condos when it comes to 55 plus living. But if you're looking for that cool luxury condo experience like you're going to find in Edmonton and Calgary, you're just not going to find that here in Red Deer. So is the hype about Red Deer real? Honestly, in my opinion, yes, it absolutely is. But it's not hype in the flashy, over the top way like you see in the bigger cities. It's because people keep moving here, they keep settling down, and they realize that this city checks a lot of boxes that they had no idea they had. You get a super active lifestyle with beautiful trails and a river valley, rec centers on your doorstep, homes that are actually affordable compared to Edmonton and Calgary. And then of course we have all the major projects. In my opinion, this is the most important one. They are setting Red Deer up for decades of growth. And one of the best parts about living in Red Deer, in my opinion, is it still feels small enough that you get to know your neighbors. So if you would like any help, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. My name is Kyle. Use this info popping up. Get a hold of me any way you'd like. Would love the opportunity to earn your business. I'll see you guys next week. Cheers.